sure you check out our new sponsor, The Health Blaze. All the information is in the description. Use the promo code above. Goodfellow One Boxing at 18% off of all their natural products from deodorant, pomade, toothpaste, and much, much more. And they have additional discounts on their website as well. That's thehealthblaze.com. Starting December 20th. That promo code is good for 18% off. We go. All right, what's going on? You back, Goodfellow Sports TV. We in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure to subscribe button, bell icon button. Now, there's been some rumblings that the Houston Rockets, amongst the Miami Heat and Detroit Pistons, have been interested in trading for Russell Westbrook. Now, Daryl Morey is the general manager for the Houston Rockets, and he's trying to get Westbrook, but apparently it's been dubbed a long shot for the Houston Rockets. Now, ESPN and the Athletics, and I'll link the ESPN article in the description, are reporting that Chris Paul wouldn't necessarily need to be involved in the trade to Oklahoma City, even though his salary is a perfect match to trade straight up for Russell Westbrook. Now, Chris Paul probably got 2 or 3 years left on this deal, the extension, maybe 3 or 4 years left. But obviously, Oklahoma City, like most teams in the NBA, are not interested in bringing Chris Paul there. Now, Chris Paul was a part of the New Orleans Hornets that after the Hurricane Katrina, I think it was, played in Oklahoma City for a year, and was very, very integral in bringing the team to Oklahoma City. But they called it a long shot that that James Harden and Russell Westbrook pair back up. Now the Rockets are trying to get off Eric Gordon, Clint Capella, just to name a few. And I don't think they have enough to offer, especially when you don't include Chris Paul, for Russell Westbrook. Now, that'll be an interesting backcourt. Now, I know people say they played together when James Harden was 6th man of the year, I think, or a candidate for that, coming off the bench for the Thunder. And I think the Rockets would take that risk because they get along together. And I think James Harden would rather have Russ there other than Chris Paul. But Russell Westbrook been playing a totally different position. I don't think he can play off the ball. And I don't think Mike D'Antoni is a good coach enough to make that shit work. Because Chris Paul do have a point about the offense, that he should be running the offense more on the ball, and they should be getting doing more off the ball screens and motions with James Harden and Eric Bledsoe. He is right about that. Now, James Harden can cry, he can bitch and complain, he can say whatever you want to say about Chris Paul, but Chris Paul is right. They need to actually run more offensive sets, and I think I think James Harden will score easier than going 1-on-4 or 1-on-5. But Mike D'Antoni don't have the basketball IQ or make the proper adjustments to do that. And Chris Paul and James Harden could win a championship this year if they had a better coach. Now, if they was running an offense like Steve Kerr implemented with Golden State, where a lot of motion, the ball constantly moved, James Harden, he wouldn't need 20 free throws to get to 30, 40 points a night. He would easily cruise to 30, 35, 40 points a night. I'm telling you, if he just took the ball out of his hand and moved it out the ball, you wouldn't hear nothing about that choking shit. All the backdoor cuts coming off screens, pin downs, the pick and roll. I mean, all that would work a lot more easier if D'Antoni implemented and installed the offense, a ball movement, and motion. And Chris Paul is right about that, but at the end of the day, Houston Rockets are looking for answers, to fix their team. The answer is you need a new coach. You need a coach that got an offense, a Princeton-style offense, a motion-style, whatever the offense they choose to be. Because Steve Kerr used principles of the Princeton style, the triangle, and some other stuff he mixed in his offense, and it worked. You know what I mean? You got Steph Curry coming off screens, getting easy looks at threes, easy floaters at the basket, easy backdoor cuts. It's easy for him to get 30 or 40 points. James Harden is scraping, his tooth and nail to get 40, 50 points. He taking tough shots that in the playoffs don't fall under the immense pressure that you under. And Mike D'Antoni hasn't utilized Chris Paul. Chris Paul is watching James Harden like Eric Bledsoe, waiting for him to drive and kick out and hit an open three. When you got Chris Paul, you supposed to be orchestrating, running the offense. And Mike D'Antoni just don't have the mental capacity and the adjustments to be a head coach, man. And that's their problem. They got enough to win, especially next year with Chris Paul, enough to at least get to the Western Conference Finals and the NBA Championship. I don't know if they can win it. They got enough. The reason James Harden is a choke artist, a major reason, it ain't just because he the frozen one, because he was the frozen one back with Oklahoma City Thunder. The reason he a choke artist is because they don't give him no easy baskets. Mike D'Antoni is an idiot. And Houston not going to win shit until they get rid of D'Antoni. Chris Paul can work if he healthy. That's a big if. But it can work. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is what it is. They just don't run enough motion offense. They don't run no offense. There's too much ISO pick and roll, ISO pick and roll, and it's hard for James Harden to hit those tough shots under that immense pressure you're on. But they say it's a long shot that Russ and James Harden can get together unless they pull in the third team. So we'll see what happens. Goodfellas Sports TV. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, or video request. Keep sharing the videos. And don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Help Blaze, at thehelpblaze.com. Promo code Goodfella1 Box and get you 18% off their 100% all natural products, lotion, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, deodorant, lip balm, lip gloss, and much, much more. Website, promo code, description. Check out that Mux Relaxer Rub and Lemon toothpaste. Really, really good. We gone.